Hi, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started. So for our presentation today, we're talking about studying abroad at Vrije University in Amsterdam. So to just get us started with some introductions, my name is Sarah Muir, I she, her pronouns. I am the International Programs Advisor here in IPE. So I advise students on a range of study abroad programs, including our program at Vrije University. So to kick us off with our presentation, I just wanted to talk a little bit about why we think it's important for engineers to study abroad. So first and foremost, the idea of building intercultural competence, developing communication skills across difference. These are both really important skills as engineers working on global problems and global solutions that affect a wide range of people across different nations and cultures, right? So important to have those skills and to be able to work, well with people and to consider problems from a variety of different perspectives. So studying abroad is really something that helps kind of stretch those skills as an engineer. Additionally, study abroad is a great way to develop resiliency, problem-solving skills, adaptability, not only, in the engineering classroom, but just as you're encountering problems and challenges in your day-to-day life and figuring out how to, conduct yourself in another culture and adjust to problems in a setting that is not familiar to you. So study abroad is a great way to kind of stretch those skills as well. And then finally, it's just a wonderful opportunity to approach or to see how other cultures approach engineering in your field. It's great to be able to see, what are other cultures focusing on? What are they valuing? What are they thinking about as they're learning about engineering and as they're considering engineering problems that might be different from the things that we focus on here in the US or we focus on in University of Michigan classrooms. So it's a great opportunity to kind of, develop all of those skills to think about things in a new and exciting way. So today we're talking specifically about our program at Vrije University. So who are they? Vrije is a large public research university in Amsterdam. It was founded in 1880. And it has several engineering disciplines. The two kind of disciplines that are taught fully in English are computer science and artificial intelligence. So we think of this program as a really good fit. We really highlight it as something that might be good for computer science students to pursue. Vrije does teach across all of its degree programs in a mix of Dutch and English. And there are around 31,000 students at Vrije University. And it does have a high percentage of international students at the university. So as a US student studying in this college, you'll be, one of many international students. So there's a bright, vibrant international population at Vrije University as well. And then Vrije Universiteit stands for Free University in Dutch. That comes from the fact that this was one of the first universities in the Netherlands that was founded that was free from any type of religious tie. So it's Free University. You can see on the map on the screen, so I've put the location of Vrije University. It's towards the southern, it's in the business district of Amsterdam, so not smack in the middle of the canal. The canal's in the center of Amsterdam, but it's actually, I think, a nice distance away from that, so you're not in the crowds of tourists every day, but you can still easily access all of the things that are wonderful about Amsterdam, the canals, the center, really easily by public transportation and by bike, which we'll talk a little bit more about. So studying abroad at Vrije University, or VU as it's fondly known. So we have not yet set the program dates and fees for 2025, but generally you can see that this program tends to run from early February through early June. So it's, exams will go through the end of May at Vrije University, so you'll be there through the beginning of June. The program fee for 2024 was around 22,000. So we're expecting to see maybe a slight increase this year, but we will notify everyone when those costs become available. We also wanted to highlight, the the program fee that IPE charges, that's what, IPE will charge you, but there may be other additional costs that are associated with going abroad, such as purchasing airline tickets or thinking about the fact, that you'll need to buy food for yourself while you're on the program. So IPE creates something called a budget sheet, where we estimate the total cost of the program, not only what IPE charges, but all of the other fees associated with studying abroad as well. So you can see briefly here, this is linked on our brochure page, so you can easily access this and see and think about more, what might the cost of airfare be, meals, transportation while on site, to think about not only what IPE is charging, the program fee, but all of the other costs associated with going abroad as well. And then we wanted to mention that the program provider for this program is CEA Kappa. So CEA Kappa is a third-party study abroad organization that has been, helping send students abroad for many years. We partner with them in Amsterdam, and they are kind of our on-site, on-the-ground folks. So they have a director and a staff that live and work in Amsterdam. They assist us with things like helping our students get set up in their housing. They liaise with the university to help our students get registered in courses. So they're a great resource. Once students are accepted to this program, we start working more closely with CEA Kappa as well as Vrije University in order to get set up for the program. When applying for the program, the kind of eligibility requirements that we're looking for, we want students to have at minimum a 3.0 GPA, to be at least a sophomore during the year that they are studying abroad. This program is open to all U of M undergraduates, but I will mention that engineering students do have preference on this program. And then we want students to have a valid passport by the time that you submit your application. So a valid passport is one that is not going to expire at least 6 months after you return to the US after the program. So if you're thinking about this program maybe ending early June, then you'll want the passport to be good until like end of 2025 at least when you apply. This program is highly competitive due to a strict capacity limit for international students at VU. So we encourage students to put their best foot forward in their applications and to definitely reach out to me, the advisor, if you have any questions or would like to talk about your application before submitting. Housing is included on this program. So the cost of housing is included in the fee that IPE charges. They're around $22,000. And students will live in student residences not far from Vrije University. Students do not need to apply for a visa for this program. US students would not need to apply for a Dutch visa for this program. However, they will need to apply for a Dutch residence permit. This is something that you'll work closely with our program provider, CEA Kappa, in order to obtain after being accepted into the program. International students, non-US citizens, should of course look into whether they would need to obtain a visa in addition to a Dutch residence permit in order to study abroad for 5 months in the Netherlands. And then the deadline to apply for this program is August 14th, 2024. So that's midsummer. So we really encourage students to be thinking now about your interest in applying. And if you have any questions, please be sure to reach out to our office. One of the most important things to think about as you're considering studying abroad is about the academics and what courses are offered, and the academic culture at Vrije University and whether that's a good fit for you. So at Vrije University, the winter semester is actually split into 2 half terms, period 4 and period 5. Both are 8 weeks long, and students will take 2 classes in period 4, as well as 2 classes in period 5 in order to make up the full 12 credits that you need to be enrolled in over the course of the program. There's a small exam period after period 4 and then another exam period after period 5. So VU is considered to be very academically rigorous. This is in part because of the differences between the Dutch academic culture and the US academic culture, where in the Netherlands, it's pretty common that courses will have minimal homework. And the focus will really be on like self-learning and making sure that you're reading up on content because, students have always mentioned that even if something is not mentioned in the lecture at Vrije University, if it is in the textbook or it's in other course materials, it's very likely it would still be something that you're tested on in an exam. So there's minimal coursework. It's important to be making sure that you're paying attention to the materials and doing some self-learning over the course of your courses as well. And because there's minimal homework, final exams do weigh heavily. So there's kind of a lot riding on the final grade. So it's important to keep that in mind when thinking about the courses that you're intending to take at VU, because they are considered to be pretty rigorous. U of M students on the program will receive transfer credit for any course that is passed with the equivalent of a C. So at VU, they have a 10-point grading scale. So as long as you get a 6 out of 10, then the credits that you take at Michigan will at Vrije University will transfer to Michigan as transfer credit. So how do you find classes at VU? How do you know what's available to take on this program? There are several steps that we recommend. The first being to look through the University of Michigan, the Engineering International Course Equivalencies database. This database shows courses that have already been approved for transfer on the program. So if we click into here, we can see, and we search for Vrije University, we can see a list of all of the courses that students in the past have requested to be approved for transfer at U of M. And you can see what they are called at VU and how they transfer back to Michigan, how many credits that they come back as. So this is an excellent resource to kind of see, is a starting place to see what's already been approved for transfer, what's possible to take on this program. After searching through the course equivalencies database, we then recommend that students check out the CEA Kappa course list. So CEA Kappa is our program provider. On their website, they have created a list of all of the courses that are being offered in the term that you're going abroad. So they have created a list of all of the courses that are confirmed to be offered in winter 2025. So this is a really excellent resource to check out because the U of M International Course Equivalencies database only tells you if it's approved for transfer. It doesn't tell you whether VU is offering it the term you're going to be abroad. So it's very important to cross-check the CEA Kappa course list and make sure that those courses are being offered in winter 2025. If you're on the CEA Kappa course list and you find other courses that are not currently approved for transfer, but that you're interested in taking, you can then submit a transfer credit approval form called a TCAF in order to request approval for those courses. It can take several weeks to get the results back, so we encourage students to do that as soon as possible if you're thinking about studying abroad and taking those courses at VU, so you know whether it's possible to complete those requirements on the program. And then, of course, once you have the TCAF results, we really encourage you to check in with your academic advisor to confirm that all of the courses that you're planning to take abroad will actually apply towards your degree, that you're staying on track for your timeline to graduate. So always be sure to check in with your academic advisor throughout the study abroad process. Additionally, when looking for courses at Vrije University or any university abroad, we really encourage students at this point in the planning stage to select twice as many courses as you need to take in case your preferred courses are not offered during that semester or have conflicting times. At this point, we do not yet know what the course schedule is going to be for courses at Vrije University, so it's very important to have backup courses in mind or second choice courses in mind when developing your course plan at this point. Please make sure that you're meeting any prerequisite requirements and ensure that you're taking the equivalent of at least 12 US credits on the program. This is an IPE requirement and it's a minimum because taking less than 12 credit hours can affect the financial aid that you're eligible for on the program. And then to kind of wrap up this academic section, I wanted to mention briefly some potential courses that we know that are already approved for transfer at VU. So as I mentioned, VU is considered to be a good program or a program that fits well for computer science students here at the university. So we have quite a few courses that are approved for CS requirements. There are several courses that come back and can count towards CS technical electives, such as big data and biomedical sciences, computational intelligence, software design, these types of things. It's important to note that CS currently offers students an exception. You can apply for an exception to use one 300 or 400 level departmental credit course towards one of your upper level CS courses. So for instance, if you wanted to apply software design as an upper level CS course, you could do that if you receive an exception from your academic advisor. VU also offers a range of other intellectual breadth and general elective options or courses for students to take, highlighting a few, just business, Dutch language courses, economics, history, religion. There's really a range of other options outside of computer science that students might fill out their schedule with as well. So that wraps up academics. And then I wanted to touch on student life in Amsterdam. So what is it like to live there and be a student in the city? So housing in Amsterdam, this is included in the cost of the IPE program. The housing is provided by CEA Kappa. And generally, students live in a single studio apartment that has a kitchenette, a private bathroom, a bed, and a study area. You can see examples of photos on the screen. For a discount, students can also live with a roommate in a hotel suite not far from campus. So that is also an option. Both locations are about 20 minutes from Vrije University and about 20 minutes from the city center. Students I've talked with have mentioned that in the beginning, this maybe seems far, but then once they really bought into the bike culture and got a bike, they felt they were able to access the city really easily. There are monthly bike rentals available for students. Which is excellent because then, you don't have to buy a bike and then figure out how to get rid of a bike when you leave at the end of the program. So you can do monthly bike rentals, which our colleagues in Amsterdam are more than happy to help you set up. And then students have time and time again said that biking oftentimes feels faster to them than public transit, such as trams and metros, the metro in Amsterdam, and it feels faster than traveling in a car. So they really recommend getting a bike because then you feel very close to campus and you feel very close and able to access all parts of the city as well. Additionally, it's definitely possible to get involved on campus at VU. So VU really encourages students to take part in clubs and sports on campus. So as an international student, you can access all of the intramural sports, the clubs that are available on campus. So that's definitely available. The program also provides students with an Amsterdam Museum card. So it's really easy to explore. Amsterdam is an excellent museum city. So things like the Van Gogh Museum, the Rijksmuseum, there's a bunch of smaller museums around the city, like for any type of interest, cheese museums, houseboat museums, tulip museums, so all kinds of things to explore. CEA Kappa also offers some activities and excursions that are already included in the fee that you pay for the program. So every, week or couple of weeks, they offer activities like picnics, food tours. They sometimes take students to visit the tulip fields in Amsterdam. And then once or twice a semester, they also do an excursion. So like a longer excursion where you might visit a nearby city for a day trip or maybe an overnight trip. Oftentimes they try to take students to cities in the Netherlands that you might not think to explore on your own. So smaller towns or smaller cities that really help you get a feel for Dutch culture and Dutch way of life that maybe you wouldn't think to explore on your own. And then, as I mentioned, there's plenty of museums to explore in Amsterdam. There's markets. There's some excellent food markets, some flea markets, and like secondhand markets happening all throughout the city. Concerts. Amsterdam's an excellent city to explore if you're interested in history. There's a lot of history related to like the canals, European history. So excellent city to explore for a variety of interests. Students have highlighted a few of their favorite neighborhoods, including Jordaan, De Pijp, Amsterdam West, etc. And then, of course, Amsterdam is an excellent city if you're interested in traveling outside of the Netherlands. So the Netherlands itself is very well connected by train. We definitely encourage students to explore the Dutch countryside and immerse themselves as they can, in daily life. But there are also trains from Amsterdam Central to other large European hubs like Paris, Brussels, Berlin. etc. So it's very easy to kind of get out and explore beyond Amsterdam. And then, of course, Schiphol Airport has hundreds of flights per day. It's one of the most highly traveled airports in Europe. So hundreds of flights that can take you all over Europe if you're interested in exploring other areas outside of the Netherlands. And then just to kind of wrap up our presentation today, so if you're interested in studying abroad at Vrije University, we encourage you to start thinking about your application now. So maybe check out our Planning a Semester Abroad checklist that kind of runs through all of the things that are important to think about when considering a semester abroad. We also encourage you to check your passport validity. So this is one of the eligibility requirements that IPE is most strict about because it is imperative that you have a valid passport when you apply. That way you can have a successful Dutch residence permit application. So your passport must be valid for at least 6 months after your anticipated return date to the US. Processing times for new or renewed passports can take a few months. So we really encourage you to start on that now over the summer, well in advance of that August 14th deadline. Be sure to check out the program budget sheet that I referenced that covers all of the costs, not only the IPE costs, but the other expected costs for things like your airline ticket, meals on the program, transportation on the program, so that you have a full picture of what the expected cost for this program will be. And then in addition to that, please fill out the Study Abroad Financial Aid Estimate Worksheet and submit it to the Office of Financial Aid in order to understand how much aid you are eligible to receive on this program. In general, students can apply their financial aid to a semester abroad, but we really encourage you to fill out that form and talk with the Office of Financial Aid to get a full picture of how your aid can apply to the program. And then, of course, please do meet with me. So I am the IPE advisor for this program, and I would love to speak with you more about studying abroad in Amsterdam, the courses that are available, and what's possible for you on this program, so that you can be ready to submit your application for August 14th this year. That is everything that I have today for this info session. Thank you so much for your time and attention. Just a couple of small plugs at the end. We encourage you to check out our funding page to look at other additional scholarship opportunities. You can follow us on Instagram, or you can join our newsletter to get updates about when program deadlines are, new opportunities that might become available. And finally, if you have not yet seen the IPE student blogs, I would really encourage you to check those out. All of these photos are from our students abroad who are currently blogging and sharing their experiences in places like Australia and Stockholm. So it's a wonderful resource where you can see current U of M students who are currently abroad and learn from their experience as well. So please be sure to check that out. And if you have any remaining questions about VU, please do reach out to me as well. Thank you.